apex on the inside and I move the car to the outside, those are the 3 reference points. Well, what does that mean? So you really can't see. We'll work a little bit more on this at lunch, but there's 3 reference points, and we'll get to those. Okay, there's just a couple of more slides here, and so I'd like to talk about the protocol when we leave here. So when we leave here, there'll be a line for the one and only toilet, and of course, we'd like you to use that before you get started, because you'll be driving a lot today, and I'm sure you've all had some coffee and water and that sort of thing. Good. So use that, but as soon as you can, please get into your cars in whatever line they're in. And as soon as we see that in any particular one of the 4 lines that all the people are in there, an instructor will lead you down to where your first exercise is. So there were no issues with any of your cars, so that's good. So when we leave here, do the things you need to do, and as soon as possible, go over and get in your cars and wait. And when you see everybody in line, we'll lead you to the exercise. You don't need to put your helmets on in line. Now, of course, you can, looks pretty cool. Hey, I'm ready to go. So that's fine. And when you get to the exercise, you'll be in 2 lines. As soon as you're in line and the car stops, turn the car off, go up to the front of the line. Okay, so we're just about ready to go. Do let your instructors help. I mean, we're coaches, right? We don't have any agenda other than helping you enjoy your cars and learn a little bit about yourself and learn a little bit about your cars. And inside that envelope, we're willing to do just about anything. And we'll certainly encourage you to do so. But we need some help from you. So communication in the car is great. You'll learn the most when you're a little bit toward the edge of your comfort zone, whatever that means to you. And we'll certainly encourage that. But we want you to be comfortable. So there's a balance here. So help us help you. Right? All the instructors have been through training by us. If the instructor's in your car, they've gone through a pretty rigorous checkout over several months or weeks to make sure that they are able to work with you in a car. For those of you that have manual transmission cars, should the car spin, right? So that's a point where control is really up to the physics. Put both feet in. What that means is 1 foot goes on the brake, not the accelerator, on the brake, and the other depresses the clutch. And what that will help do is when the car stops spinning and you have the clutch in, it'll keep running. But also it's good for the engine. All right, we've got some courses. We'll show these on the track. So I'm going to give you some action items to think about when you go home. We always have to have an end in mind here. No, you can't see them, but they are the following. They're both indicative of high performance drivers, but they're also indicative of really keeping your options, keeping you as safe as possible. So one of them is 2 hands on the wheel. Now, if you're like me, there's lots of other things in the car, right? There's the heating controls, and there's the music, and there's we won't talk about that. There's a thing that fell on the floor and all that sort of thing. But I want my hands, especially when there's other cars around, I want my hands on the wheel at all times. Now, if I'm shifting, it's get that business done and hands back on the wheel. So we'll work with you today to have 2 hands on the wheel all the time. And I just ask you to start thinking about, I have 2 hands on the wheel all the time when I'm not here, right? Because that preserves your options. So the second one is full stops, always. My favorite is the road down, one of the roads down to my house goes down a hill, and there's a T intersection at the bottom. That road is used by dog walkers and bicyclers and all sorts of people in non-motorized vehicles. And by golly, they'll go down the hill at 17 miles an hour, and then they won't stop. They almost stop. They kind of get there and kind of pause. And so, okay, you can choose to speed downhill, but stop the car. full stops. You'll hear this in the exercises. So if we say this is a stop box, it means stop. Stop, stop, stop. Stop moving the car. And that millisecond or two that I might use when I bring a car to a full stop, I get to look both ways, assess, and then move. So it's just a great habit. And then the other one will make, the last one which says brake before turns and accelerate through them. This will make a lot more sense, and we'll talk about it at lunch, but it basically says that turns are for turning and stabilizing the car. And so establish the speed to go through the turn before you start turning. And it has all to do with your traction budget, and we'll talk about that. Any questions? You all ready? Yes? Yes. Okay. So on the course is? Good. And off the pavement is? Good. All right, good. You're ready to go. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm ready.